Hey there, Starcraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of Starcraft Brood War Remastered. Today, it's going to be MaNa versus gogimandu here on Heartbreak Ridge. Left side of the map, it is the brown Protoss player. It is MaNa. Love this guy. He is Polish. He is a fan favorite. He is excellent at Protoss. And on the right side, it is the Zerg player gogimandu. No idea who this is. Search it on the Smurf list. Search it on the ladder list for alternate IDs. But cannot find anything that says gogimandu. I looked up the pronunciation. It just means meat dumplings in Korean. Gogi apparently is any kind of meat. Just beef, pork, chicken, whatever. And mandu is dumplings. Did a little bit of YouTube research there in preparation for this cast. You're welcome. And apparently, if I do something, pronounce it wrong, then I will know in the comments because that is how that works. Alrighty then, so PVZ here on Heartbreak Ridge. Gosh, I love this map. So many fun games on this map. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's so fun, but every single game that I've cast on this thing's been just a blast. There have been proxies going on. There have been major attacks here. We've seen Dark Templar all over the place, Ultralisks in previous PVZs. It's just been super duper entertaining all the way around, and I really don't think it's going to change that much today either. Is that pylon off? Can you fit a Nexus in here? MaNa, did you mess it up? He's getting a Forge, so you're going to go for the Forge expand here, so cannons, because he knows there's a pool on the way first here out of the Zerg player, not the hatch first that you normally would see. Well, I don't know, see, some of the time. I really don't have the numbers on that. How often does the Zerg player go for a pool first versus a hatch first versus a Protoss in Brood War, especially whenever the heck this was played, because, man, older replays here, as MaNa did switch to Starcraft 2 pretty soon after it came out, so this has got to be... my gosh, 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. And look at this, blocking the expand too. MaNa having a great time with this, y'all. He is really doing well in the opening stages of this match. Blocking the hatchery out, scouting with the probe, seeing what's coming on in here, delaying the expansion for gogimandu by a whole ton. Whole ton. He has enough resources to expand. Can't do it. Look at the jukes. Look at the jukes. The goal here is to not take any hits, but at the same time, block the hatchery if you can. This is insane control right now. Look at this. Just an absolute beautiful expression of MaNa just absolutely taking it to gogimandu. Alright, so the Zerglings are going to protect, and the hatchery is going to go down way, way late here. Check it out. You can fit a Nexus here. Look, that is like a pixel-perfect placement from MaNa. Check that out. This is a little bit to the left. You can't build a Nexus, and it screws the whole thing up. Just beautiful, beautiful placement here from the Protoss. Probe, just, I mean, I guess we just throw a pylon down here to make sure that the Zerg player's not trying to come in this back door where there's a temple. Hello, Protoss temple. And Zerglings have shown up. There's a cannon, and there are probes holding the line. This is a lot of Zerglings, surprisingly. Some of them are going to get in at this stage. Nice. Oh, my gosh. And by that, I mean none of them will get in because MaNa is a god. What on earth was that? That I thought for sure at least two Lings would get in for a scout in here, but nope. The probes holding the line. Did any of them even die? I think maybe one of them died. This might just be an outmatch. I mean, it's a fairly longer game, so it's not just like MaNa goes for a 2-base timing attack and just kills. That's not what this is. But man, MaNa is outclassing the Zerg player in every possible way in the early stages of this game. Third hatch is already coming up here from the Zerg, which I love to see. Get your natural block for some time. Just go for a quick third. I mean, the worst thing that can happen here is you're just over macroing and you get killed by a 2-base timing attack. Hey, happens to the best of us. But Lair on the way, still scouting everything. This probe is just getting all the information in the entire universe. Is this the one? Holy smokes, this is the one. This is the one that was blocking the hatchery earlier. Oh. I don't know. This is, all right, fine. Fine, this probe is just manifesting all of Protoss that Protoss can be. gogimandu is, again, there's a lair, but there's no Hydralisk den, so it's not going to be lurker play probably. Could just be a Spire, which would be interesting here. Two cannons protecting the natural base. Main base is working on additional tech in the form of a Cyber Core, and he's going for +1 attack before the Cyber Core is even done. That's some interesting priorities here from MaNa. Alright, Cyber Core complete. Zealots in production. I cannot be for an aggressive play, I don't think. Zealots are a little bit too slow here. without the leg enhancements upgraded is going to be, where is our Stargate? There it is, there it is. Stargate coming up. So if it's a Spire, and it is, and it's anything but Scourge, and I don't think it is based on this gas timing. Again, the timings, I need to work on those a little bit, but I feel like this is probably just going to be some Scourge to deal with the Corsair that show up. They're very annoying, but they have to be handled on some level. And Scourge are the easiest way to do it. Doesn't require you to sacrifice drones to make it happen either. And yeah, keep the Overlords alive. Throw up a group colony at the front in case any ground units decide to show up. Probe's still scouting. This is... oh, it's a different probe this time. MaNa's everywhere with these scouts, man. I'm liking it. I'm really appreciating the attention to scouting detail that we're seeing here. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, that's a macro hatch. I thought that was a creep colony. Man, that footprint looks crazy. And yeah, based on the fact that we have exactly one gas here from gogimandu, that it could be a handful of Mutalisks early, but it's not going to be continued Mutalisk production at all. Mostly because you can't if there are Corsairs around, and there are, obviously, some in production already from MaNa. So the Spire's going to pop here any second of any minute. And there it is. And what do we get? Scourge. Yeah, 2 pairs of Scourge. Still has a bunch of gas in the bank here. Could maybe go for some Mutalisks if he sees that the Corsair production isn't continuing apace. Meanwhile, Templar Archives on the way here from MaNa. Another gateway here, too, from the Protoss. Hasn't been too aggressive, honestly. The Corsair's going to show up, but the Scourge don't take that long to build. And they're already here. Just absolute perfect timing from gogimandu there. So the Corsair going to try to find some Overlords to murder, but unfortunately, that happens sometimes if you're not paying attention. And the Corsair is gone. Another Corsair in production here. But yeah, Lurker Aspect now on the way from gogimandu. So it's a little bit late, but he is on 3 bases, which is nice against MaNa's 2. Templar Archives is not researching Storm at this point. You're going to want Storm against these Lurkers, especially if they're in a contained style situation here. So gogimandu is actually acquitting himself quite nicely here. He's doing everything that he needs to do to get back into this game after the first couple minutes did not go his way. And you know what? This is kind of inspirational. You can lose the first couple minutes of a Starcraft match and still recover. Make stuff happen by doing things like wiping out that Corsair instantly. Just killing it as soon as it shows up. That really does make MaNa nervous. He doesn't have any scouting information anymore. No Overlords went down. So gogimandu is starting to get up there in the economy here and the overall supply. But yeah, Lurker Aspect there. Any sign of a 3rd base. Scourge are checking for that, not finding anything of note. And a Dark Templar on the way. Brown DTs really do a great job blending into the terrain here. Look at him walking with his sword out. It's not safe, man. Put that away. Chop off your own legs with that thing. Seriously, though, they should have a sheath to hold that in when they're walking, and then they can pull it out when they need to attack, because that is dangerous as all get out. Anybody who's ever had a sword, you don't run around with it in your hand for no reason. Dark Templar do not care. Dark Templar give no darns. Yeah, but sunken up. Overlord there. No, shut down, man. DT Gamble doesn't pay off for MaNa. gogimandu making stuff happen. By the way, as always, if you know who this player is and I don't, let me know in the comments and I'll change the title so people know. But when as of casting this, gogimandu pulls up nothing at all. If you Google it, it's like, hey, pork dumplings. I'm like, okay, that's nice, but anything for Brood War? No, says Google. Absolutely not. All right, Lurker's going to show up here. Storm is on the way, but it's not quite done yet, so there's a bit of a delay here in which there will be a lot of Zealots and Gateways taking spines to the face. Here we go. Burrow them in. And, it's such a nice concave. This timing is so good, too. 9 minutes, 3 bases. Really keeping MaNa on 2 bases right now. The Storm is almost done. Can they get a Gateway is a question. I don't know if they can get a Gateway. How much Storm is available, though? There's 1 High Templar here. He's going to be able to get off maybe a couple Storms, which he's trying to... Oh, he does catch 2 Lurkers with that 1 Storm. That's some good stuff. That one goes down, too. I mean, at the very least, finish off this Gateway, guys. And they're going to get it. All right, so the Gateway is dead, but 3 Lurkers went down. I don't think that's a fair trade, I'm going to be honest with you. When it comes to making trades. Also, don't burrow in range of a cannon. This one also got hit. Man, Storm range. Storm coverage is a lot better than I think sometimes. Oh, and the trick. throws the Zealot on top of the Lurker, attacks it with the splash damage Archon, and it kills it. Nicely done. Nicely done, MaNa. That was a good trick. I like seeing that one quite a bit there. All right, so a lot of Hydras coming out here. You saw the Storm, right? You know Storm's done. I mean, I guess that's just a fact of life. If your ZVP goes past 10 minutes, there's going to be Storm. Because otherwise, Hydras just kind of wreck everything. That's why Storm has to exist. Kind of like this setup here. Free DT. Sending out scouting Zerglings and Hydralisks all over the place, trying to see if there's an expansion here from MaNa, and definitely not, man. He's pushing out with a pretty darn big, scary army. He's got Dragoons, he's got Zealots, he has an Archon, he's got High Templar, and a couple Corsairs here, too. Gonna throw up, you know, just protect the third base, clear out the Zerg infestation there, and then maybe move out and see what we can do about killing this Zerg player, who's named after a delicious Korean barbecue food, which making me hungry, man. That sounds good. Korean barbecue. Pork dumplings. Right. Anyway, MaNa's pushing up. MaNa is ready to go. A lot of Lings coming out to deal with this. The Zealot count is not that high, and neither is the Archon count. It's largely a Dragoon force, so Zerglings are a good choice here for gogimandu. Making more Zerglings, working on upgrades for those dudes. Does he have anything yet? +1 Ground Carapace is done, which is nice. No missile attack. And no melee attack either here. Engaging into this angle, bad. Don't go in there. Make him attack into the Lurkers if you can. Great Storms, though. Another fantastic Storm on the right side. Ah! Ow, ow, ow. Still, 136 to 108 supply. gogimandu is in a decent place. He's taking a 4th base up north here, while the 3rd base is warping in from MaNa. He takes the center, holds it a little bit. I think he just wanted to make sure he had time to get the 3rd base up. He's going to pull back. He did not like what he saw out of the Zerg player. Too many Hydralisks, too many Lurkers, too many Zerglings. More and more Zerglings in production all the time now. They are working on additional upgrades for armor. Missile attacks, getting research here for the Hydralisks, and MaNa pulls back. Just to consolidate what he has. Ooh, sniping off a High Templar with just 3 Zerglings, though, is pretty awesome. Forced him to Storm. That never works, though, does it? You try to Storm yourself to save yourself. And sure, if there are a bunch of Zerglings, that might be a fair trade. You wipe out like 12 Zerglings for 1 High Templar, okay, but man, if there's only 3 there, that's a brutal choice you have to make for sure. I like the creep colonies here at the main base, just in case some DTs manage to wander on in here, but you got to turn them into something besides, you know, just the creep colonies, because otherwise they're not doing much for ya. Very strange. He is going for a hive, though, which is pretty fantastic. Protoss base looking good. Nice Sim City from MaNa. That's pretty. I like this a lot. Rows of pylons, rows of gateways neatly stacked, a little bit off center on that second row there, just kind of just stacked off there a little bit. Still about 30 supply lead here for MaNa, but the Zerg player I feel like is okay with that. His hive is about to be done. He's going to start getting Dark Swarm up. It's going to be really, really hard for gogimandu to handle this. Lurker stabbing on in. Lings coming in too to help out. Nice Storm on the left side. Hydra's getting stormed. Lings jumping on top of these Dragoons, trying to finish them off, or at least buffer a little bit for the rest of this army. But the Zealot's doing a fantastic job trading out against these Zerglings, just outnumbering them immensely. And suddenly, MaNa is up 160 to 115. This is not going well for gogimandu at all. Guess what's happening over here? Holy crap. We're dropping Hydras and we're dropping Lurkers inside the main base of the Protoss. So the 4th base is going to die, but how much of the main is going to die here? For MaNa, going to lose a couple gateways at the very least, some pylons, maybe end up getting supply blocks, entirely possible. These Lings keep going after it. Oh, it's a free, maybe a free Dragoon if you want it. Nice positioning, actually. But Zealot should be able to clean this thing up. The damage does not do as much for gogimandu, I think, as he wanted it to. Just too many gateway units coming out of these gateways to shut it down. Plus, they have +2 attack and +1 armor, which is fantastic. And then the Overlords have to get the heck on out of there. So that's a bit of a delay there. On the hive, because he was going for drops, which you have to research, and pick up, which you and speed, which you have to research, etc., etc. Adrenal glands now on the way. Losing the 4th base hurts. If you're a 3-basing Zerg player at 14 minutes against MaNa, you're gonna have a bad time. Lurker count nice, but there's no Dark Swarm to protect them, and Dragoons are gonna be just fine here. Lings jump on in. He's trying to go Ling Lurker, but the Storm line is too good. Oh my gosh, it's too good. Lurker's getting some serious hits off there. Ling's just getting absolutely massacred, trying to kill as much as they can in the process. But man, gogimandu just making Zergling after Zergling after Zergling right now. He's going for an Ultralisk Cavern. He's trying to keep MaNa on his back foot and keep him unready for Lurkers, which is entirely possible. Or rather, for Ultralisks, which is entirely possible because, man, None of the stuff is that great versus Ultralisks, as it turns out. Chitinous Plating on the way, 10 more Lings coming on in. Adrenal Glands is done. The Zerglings are officially Cracklings. And they have +2 armor, which makes them a little bit tanky, but not good enough to deal with, you know, +2 attack Zealots, soon to be +3 attack Zealots. I mean, if you can pick off High Templar, sure, do it with these Lings, but otherwise, do not engage in there all on your own. I'm really shocked that Gogimandu is not going for a Defiler Mound. It's how you win late game Zerg. You gotta have that Dark Swarm, you gotta have that Plague, especially against gateway heavy unit or compositions that we're seeing here out of MaNa. You plague that stuff, your Lings have a much easier time with it all. Lings just fighting straight up, never mind. Well, they were fighting straight up with Zealots, but then the High Templar showed up and wrecked a few of them. And the Zealots absolutely crushed in that engagement. A little bit of an assist. A little bit of an assist there from the High Templar. That High Templar dies in revenge. 7 Ultralisks in production, but if you don't have anything else to help the Ultras out, you're going to have a bad time. Lings dropping on into the main base. There aren't that many here, to be honest. They're trying to... Ooh. Can they deny armor upgrade? They're trying. They're going to get it, too. Look at that. That's going to deny +2 armor. Wait! Get it! No! Oh, yeah. No, yeah. The Zerglings, they're easily distracted. Oh, my... Cut. Gogimandu, why? You could just focus it down, man. You didn't kill anything else. I think that's it. I think that's MaNa just winning this game, honestly. He's able to hang on to that +2 armor, which is fantastic. Sure, guess what? There's Ultras out. They are scary. They are scary beasts. They're sitting here with their 5 armor, their +1 attack, working on +2. Working on speed. Anabolic Synthesis is the name of the game. More drops, just trying to keep MaNa at home for as long as possible. 4th base was snuck down here by Gogimandu during all of the previous chaos. Is there anything in these guys? I thought I heard some pickups, but no, these seem to be entirely empty. That's a lot of Ultralisks, man. That is many, many Ultralisks. And there are no Reavers here at all. He's like, you know what, Army? If you want a base race, let's do this thing. My Lings and Ultras are really, really good at killing buildings. You want to try to hold against this? Gogimandu, suddenly really scary Ling Ultra army, and there is no Reaver to handle this. There is High Templar, yes. The High Templar need to get some serious hits off on these Lings and leave the Ultras alone. Is he just going? Yeah, man, he's just going. MaNa's going for it to take down the 3rd base with all these macro hatches that Gogimandu got up. If you can get this production by MaNa, you might be able to win this game. I like the Zealots pushing themselves into corners where the Lings can't get surrounds on them. That's fantastic stuff. So 3rd base is done. 4th base happily mining here, though, for Gogi. He's got some income. But guess who snuck a 4th base? Everybody wasn't watching MaNa. MaNa for sure. Lurkers burrowing on in here. These gateways are going to go down. It's officially a base race. I know somebody made fun of me about that on a stream recently where I think everything's a base race. Not true. Only true base races like this one right now. Army coming on in. I'm not even sure why these Lings and Ultras are here. They can't hold against this. They might as well go help with a base race. They're outnumbered immensely. But yeah, man, losing all those gateways was a problem. Production is not too hot for MaNa right now. But at the same time for Gogimandu, he has a giant Protoss army wrecking everything in the entire world. Ultralisk going to try to wipe out this base, getting stormed a whole lot, man, but they've got a lot of HP on them. It's hard to take down Ultralisks with just storms, it turns out. What you generally want are maybe some Zealots. No, Ultralisk, don't die. Oh, good storm there, though. And a couple HTs go down. That Ultra has to retreat. Main base devastated for MaNa. Suddenly, this army not as big as it otherwise should be, but it should be able to take down this base, the main base for Gogimandu, plus his 4th base. Looks like it's going to go down here, too. Oh, but sneaking up the backside, going for the flank attack. Storm's on the high ground, though. Come on. MaNa just doing it here. And I think that's it. That is a lot of Ultralisks, but man, Zealots are buffering, Dragoons are hitting hard. And that's it. Good game. Gogimandu has left the game, and MaNa is your winner in 19 minutes and 43 seconds. Good game. Really, really great little PvZ there. Again, from the start, I felt like Gogimandu was a little bit outclassed, which is fair to say. I mean, it's I'm not trying to insult him or anything. Whoever he is, he's good. He's really good. His macro especially was very impressive. And the Ling Ultra thing was nice, but you needed Dark Swarm. If you had Dark Swarm here, suddenly these Ultras are much better. The Lings are much better. The Dragoons are not nearly as effective as they otherwise would be. Storm is still very good, in fairness. But you need the Defiler Mound, man. I know you like Ultras and Lings. I do too. I really, really like Ultras and Lings. And I love the way they work together. And I try to make them work over and over again if I can. But man, you really got to work those casters. You got to work the casters in. You saw what the Storm did for MaNa, right? Same thing. Same thing for you. Your spells can be just as potent as Storm is for MaNa. But MaNa just kept his cool, kept his composure. Sure, he lost his main base and his natural, but hung on to his third that was mining, hung on to his fourth that was mining, and shut down everything else, man. It was just cool and calm and collected. Wiped out the third base here. And just was aware of what's going on here. Dealt with the drops fairly well. A couple times there, he did seem a little bit like he wasn't quite sure what was going on or where to go. But in the end, he handled it. He got the win. And I think that's going to be it for this cast. So let's go ahead and check out the final score before we go, as we like to do here on the Falcon Paladin channel. Yeah, 146,000 points to 121,000. 426 Zerg units produced, but almost 400 of them went down. Meanwhile, MaNa made 182 and lost 100 of them. So the ratio better for him on that one. A lot of dead buildings here just because, again, both players effectively lost their mains, which is hilarious. And gogimandu did pretty good economically. Look at this. He won in economy, 39,000 to 37,000, but he just lost way too much stuff because he didn't have anything protecting his dudes, his Ultras and his Lings and his Hydralisks. So he mined more gas, mined more minerals, spent like 3,000 more than MaNa did, but that is the power of the Protoss. They have smaller armies, but they are way more cost efficient. MaNa showed that for sure. Beautiful, beautiful example today. And that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of Starcraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.